And you know the sad thing about this is too, is sometimes I feel like I can't talk to anybody about it. I don't want to talk to family because I don't want to make them sad. I don't want to talk to certain, some friends because they have both their parents, even if they're divorced. They still have both their parents, and I don't want them to think about having to, deal with that loss. One thing the movies never really convey is that, movies, books, whatever, it's not just that the rest of the movie that character, that person's gone in real life. They're gone forever. It's not just the rest of the pages of the book after their death that they're gone. It's forever. And you have to deal with that for the rest of your life, especially when it's a death that's so early in your life. I mean, I've had other deaths, but they've never been this close. First death I remember actually being grief stricken over was my grandma Hare. Didn't know her very well, so I was sad that she was gone, especially for my mom, but I wasn't sad for me. I mean, it was a little sad for me. I mean, I couldn't even go to the funeral because I didn't want to remember her that way. And then next death after that was Scott Patrick, who was a friend of mine in college. He died in a car accident. Well, actually, he died in the hospital after the accident, but still, the accident was the cause. After that was my great aunt Alice. Didn't know her very well. I was sad that she was gone for, the family members that did know her and friends that did know her. And Ashley died. And I was sad for Tabitha and for Aunt Sandy and, all the rest of the family and myself. And after that, I'm trying to remember, it was Papa, pretty much right after that. Well, not right after, because Ashley died in 2010, Papa died in 2015, so 5 years. And then after that, my Grandma Sally died, which I was sad about that, but not as sad as Papa. I mean, I was sad, grief-stricken sad, but not as sad as I was about Papa. And then Grandpa Gordon died, and I was sad about that too, but still not as much as Papa. All those other deaths, I took in stride in comparison to Papa. With Papa being my father, of course that's going to be the hardest. And I just feel so uncomfortable talking to people who are closest to me about it. It's really weird. Well, perhaps it's really weird, but it's because I don't want to put them through any unneeded pain. Pain that doesn't need to be there. Especially my friends that still have both of their parents. Like my best friend, Jessica. I know that I could talk to her about it and, tell her how I feel and how much I miss Papa. And she can be sympathetic and empathetic. But I don't want her to have to suppose that pain upon herself just to, help me feel better. I'd rather keep it to myself. I don't want to do that to my siblings. Reopen their wounds. That's just... It seems cruel to me to do that. And the same thing for my family members, especially my grandma. Being a child and losing a parent is one thing, but being a parent and losing a child, that's completely different. I mean, I'm a parent and I put myself in Grandma's shoes and I could barely imagine losing Hunter. The pain that I felt instantly just imagining a Connor-sized coffin, I lost my breath. So I definitely don't want to talk to Grandma about it. I feel guilty every time I post something on Facebook about Papa. I mean, to, you know, to do that, is selfish. That's why these videos will probably never ever be put up where people can see them, or they'll just go up on my YouTube and just sit there. Won't even tell anybody about them. Unless somebody happens to trip across them or something. I don't know. Or I start a YouTube channel, get really big, and then they go back and watch all of my videos from the very beginning. Or something, I don't know. But, this is just more, kind of a therapy thing for me. Talking to Papa's pictures or to myself in an empty room without some kind of seeming audience, quote unquote, it's just not enough anymore. Dealing with my grief, on a by myself basis, where it's truly by myself, just isn't cutting it anymore. Even if it's an audience of one, which is maybe myself watching this again later, is better than talking to walls or photographs. Speaking of photographs, I'm thankful that I have the photographs of Papa that I do. The ones I either printed out for the funeral or that we found in Papa's stash of photos for the funeral. I have to say, between then and now, my life's changed a lot. Between Connor growing up and new jobs and old friends being mad at me and current friends, being busy or, having their own lives with their own children, things like that, I don't see them very much anymore. Which, that's just life. C'est la vie, as they say. Which I don't mind that either, because, everybody has a life. And they have kids and things to do. Don't have much more to say about that. So speaking of, new jobs and all that, try the factory life? Not for me. Ugh. Yuck. Hot factory machines, not talking to people. Nope, can't do it. Learned that the hard way. But for people who know me, they know I have to learn things the hard way. But I got back into retail, which I thought I'd never go back to at the point that I had quit my last retail job. And I am loving it. Get to talk to people every day, get to do different things depending on the day. It's really nice. It's veritable and I love it. I don't even mind the chaotic schedules anymore of non-consistency. I remember at the beginning when I first started working, I hated not having a consistent schedule. So I was so used to school being so uniform, You had math on Tuesdays and Wednesdays and, whatever. And social studies on Monday, Wednesday, Friday or something, I was so used to that structured schedule that a random schedule drove me bonkers. And now that I've grown up a bit and it's been, 6 years since I started, in the actual, working world, I don't mind it so much anymore. I mean, yeah, you gotta plan things like a million years ahead of time, but that's okay. At least I know when I have events coming up. Which is definitely a good thing. I have to say I've gotten more into YouTube. I don't know if that's a good thing. But, it is what it is. Found definitely a favorite set of YouTubers. And I watch them consistently. Drives Brian up a wall because he doesn't think YouTube is real entertainment, but what you gonna do? That's why I just watch it when he's not around. It's like, whatever. I mean, some of the stuff he watches drives me crazy. Even though some of it's actually really good. Stuff I never thought I'd like, I actually like. Like, let's say, Tosh Point oh or South Park. Stupid stuff like that. Never thought I'd actually like it, and then I watched it with him, and it's actually a lot smarter than a lot of people think. I've never given it a chance. The way they parody things, quite funny. Well, I've got to stop these darn videos because I'm going to end up eating up all of my memory on my phone.